Okay. So hello everybody. For Thanks for joining in again for another conversation, another podcast conversation with the CMO of Hirefoster. And her name is Omobolanle, and but I think she prefers to be called Mobola. So Mobola, can you just introduce yourself? Basically, who are you? Where are you from? And then which schools did you attend? Abi, which schools are you attending?
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Mobola Omobolanle Akingbala. But of course, like Obed said, yes, you can call me Mobola. And which schools did I attend? Okay, I would say that I, of course, passed the normal beginnings and preparatory schools. Attended staff school as a young child, and because my parents wanted me to attend a Catholic boarding school, so I attended St. Louis convent boarding house, and from there I went to the University of Ibadan for my first degree, and then of course I went back because I had a flair from my 200 level. My lecturer then, Yinka Buhari, kind of lit some fire on that, under me with marketing, and from that moment, she brought in, my department was kind of different because they had a very global perspective. They did a lot of outside lecturing. So they were used to bringing people from who were on the field to come to the class to like inspire you into what's outside there. So she used to bring in people from ad agencies back then. She brought the particular class was when she brought Steve Babeko, who is now the founder of Extreme Media. Then he was working with Insights, and the things that he said just blew my mind. That was when I knew that this is what I've always thought I had interesting ideas and sounded cool. The course that I studied is what you would call a potpourri, so to speak. It's communication and language arts, and that kind of course, what they do is they take you through the entire tandem of every kind of communication that you can work within. So you go from writing, you go to research, then you go to advertising, corporate comms, business communication, broadcasting, marketing. You go through the entire tandem. So when you're done, it's going to say, "What do you want to do?" You ask them back, "What can I do? What can't I do?" Because you have a kind of a basic knowledge in different facets of communication. So I thought I wanted to do marketing. I just knew I was in love with marketing and advertising. I wanted to do That's what I wanted to do. So I didn't find the kind of school that I wanted to do that was within Nigeria. So I came back for my master's in the same course, communication and language arts. And then when I was done, went out, and then I found
Why, right?
a school that was not that they don't refer to themselves as a school. I found Orange Academy. That's where I learned about practical advertising and marketing. And that's, of course, that was another pivotal part in my learning journey. Of course, of learning how to what marketing that yields results, seeing people's problems, and being able to be original about how you create solutions for those businesses. So they come with real time problems. They bring existing brands who come and sit and they tell you what is working in the market, how your idea may not work, how it can work. So real time education in that kind of space, of course. So after that, of course, I've gone through other learnings with platforms that are international, HubSpot, Udemy, Coursera, of course. And I'm also planning to go for a little bit more at the other schools. So yes, that's my basic, what I would call the pivotal journeys in my education, University of Ibadan and Orange Academy.
Okay, interesting. And basically a lecturer, right? Is one that inspired.
No,
Yeah.
okay.
So I was saying, like, I'm guessing, the lecturer kind of pushed you on this route. That
Yes,
yeah. So the woman that brought in guests to you, and kind
yes.
of, you saw what that word looks like based on people that are already in that sphere. I wanted to ask like what
Yes,
kind of
yes, exactly.
so I'm guessing it's not mass comm per se, because I know mass comm is very popular in Nigeria, but it's communication arts, right? Is there any
Communication and language arts.
oh yeah, communication and language like what's the major difference between mass comm and communication and languages? Abi, is it the same thing and they're just deciding to wear different dress?
No, no. Mass comm is what I would call typically. In fact, it's actually a course under communication and language arts because it's it's communication that is broadcast. So mass communication has to do with broadcast, whether it has to do with terrestrial communication or press. So you have press, broadcast, and journalism. So those are under mass comm. But communication language arts is a lot broader. You have corporate comms, you have advertising and marketing, you have writing for children literature, you have creative writing, you have broadcast, you have research. Then you have what do you call uh, communication for what's the word for development. So the kind of people that help to that work in government to make policies cascade into formats that the general public can consume and relate to. You get so all those kind of any kind of communication, they take you through it for the 4 years. So you cannot come out and say, I majored in mass comm. Only you would know that you had a flair for mass comm and then you kept picking those kind of courses. But as far as the university is concerned, you are a graduate that has and is able to perform in as many as 15 kind of different roles when it comes to communication. So that's the difference.
Oh wow, so it sounds like a robust kind of like allowing
Yeah.
to see communication for itself, right, in its entirety. And as you said,
Yes.
research, I wanted to ask, like when you say, what does research mean per se in communication? Like, is it like academic research on communication, maybe strategies, concepts, etc., or is research more
Every kind of
markets?
every kind of research. So there is research for academic writing, communications, yes. So the kind of people who studying in what they call CLA, that is computer and language arts, opens your eyes to how to do what they call proper research. That is, how do you understand how people understand messages? How do you decode? How do you connect? So the very base of when it comes to research, which is understanding a phenomenon, explaining it in a way where the audience and you have shared meaning.
Mhm.
So whether you are in research, whether you are telling a story, whether you're doing it for communications, that is for brand comms or for corporate comms, it is understanding the phenomena, interpreting it in a format where the audience and the speaker have shared meaning.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, wow. I guess you know, it sounds much in my opinion, better, I would say, than mass comm, since it gives you like better understanding of like what's happening
yes,
around communicating. Like not just about communicating, which is important, right?
yes,
But about like like why you should communicate, and what are you communicating,
yes,
like who you're communicating to, all those
yes,
things. Maybe I'm sure that I don't know, I not study mass comm, so I might just be speculating. But maybe they also have their own version of CLA, right? Communication and language arts, in the sense of having, courses that will do a bit of what you guys are doing.
yeah. Okay, perhaps you're right. Perhaps
Yeah.
I didn't do mass com either.
All right. That's perfect. Excellent. So before we get into Hirefoster, I just wanted to ask you about what you feel about being. So I don't know how old are you. I don't know if you're Gen Z millennial, right? But how you feel, or no, or even like all the boomer. But how you feel about being Nigerian in the 21st century and what that means to you exactly.
Okay, my 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 parents will tell you that I'm a millennial, but at heart, Gen Z.
Like,
So
okay.
so
That's the same thing Isaac said. Like, exactly the same.
wow. Okay, so I would say that this is the best of times being a Nigerian. Why does it that? Many people may not share that sentiment, but from what I see and how I've come to see is that um the common knowledge is that Nigeria is no longer uh big because it's oil, but because now we have a new sort of oil, which is human resource or human what do you call it? The gifts or the bountiful resource of human people of people across all kinds of facets of achievements or of work.
Mhm.
The give the oil of talent is what Nigeria enjoying. So Africa right now has a bit more uh, spotlight on them. There seems to be a discovery of talent when it comes to Africa, or suddenly it's like, oh wow, you can find more. Africa is the next undiscovered place of interesting talents who have a lot of talent. So
Mhm.
yes, Nigeria actually is very seems to be sitting at the very pivotal part when it comes to that music, entertainment, academic work, health, you know, tech. So all of those seems like Nigeria is shining, and that's helping us, and that seems to be a good thing for us. So it's like everybody's saying, "Oh, interesting. We're seeing more of Nigerians in Bitcoin, blockchain, doctors, developers. So music, Afrobeat. So the resource of people right now, Nigeria seems to be, shining in that place, and I think that it will get better and bigger.
Okay, excellent. Very like there was no negative statements in what you in what you said. People
Oh,
were only say, talk about a bit of the difficulty and how hard it is, but you
there's
up
a lot of
the opportunity.
yes. That's it. It's deliberate train your eyes to see the good, the opportunities. Yes.
Nice, nice. That's excellent. You know, Nigeria is just Nigeria is just interesting in the sense that once you have fixed your eyes on something, right, the country will just happen to you, but it's not happen to us.
You know what? The good thing about Nigeria is that at the heart of that is that it's that's the will to survive whatever it is that's constraining you. So it's like literally define your your current existence. So whatever it is, you're like, you know what, it is either it's gonna get better someday. We're gonna fight this and get out of this. So Nigerians are currently in that place of their eyes are in the next, like they say, the where the grass is greener. So that's what helps them to stay the course of whatever it is that they're going through. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
That grass is greener, sharp. People are looking for greener pastures. People are
Oh
japai.
yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, and that's why higher foster exists. So whether you are an international company looking for where the grass is green, what does grass is green mean to you? Talents that are uh, hungry, that are more what's what that want to learn, that want to grow, that are more cost effective. Oh, why the grass is greener here in Africa? So that's
Hmm. I forget you'll be marketer.
it.
Okay. So let's talk about higher foster, right? So what is it all about? What are the services that you guys offer?
Okay, so higher foster, we
I want
are.
to ask, like, higher, okay, how did the name actually come about first before you answer? How?
Let me tell you the story of that. So, when the company started, the company started from a lot of history. Uh, I mean, it's a story for another day. I will tell the truth. But
Hey,
The name
don't worry, we have time.
initially was, so the name, like I so initially it was called the Social Experiment. That was when we were still ideating about the brand.
Wait, it was called
No,
social
no, no,
experiment.
the Social Experiment.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a code name in house. That's what we called it, in house. Yeah.
Okay.
So because as a company, because when we started the company, where we branched out from, there was that constant. Okay, so they want to work with it because they knew that this company was a company that was doing marketing. It was, you know what? Can you hire people like us, like you, for us in our company that will work with you while you were helping us to do? That was a constant. So we said, you know what? Let's start this experiment, social experiment, and then help people to connect people to our company. So as the brand began to emerge, there was so think of it like became the persona. So actually, the persona of Hirefoster is Foster. So person Foster is a guy. Yeah, so it's Hirefoster. So think of it like hire the guy Foster.
Oh.
Exactly. So
Um,
Foster.
but how
So
did
Hirefoster.
Foster come about?
Trust me, it was a chaotic brainstorming session. I don't know how, but it's stuck. It's like a joke and it's stuck. And we're like, you know what? It makes sense. If other brands can have personas, why not? But because we haven't yet gotten to the point where we're, because this is because it's on this podcast, so we are unveiling it right now. The podcast of how the brand persona and who he is and what he does. So actually, it was Hire Foster. So Foster is like meet this place where you would find the kind of I mean, it could have been higher. I mean, higher Kuruki or higher Bola, or I don't know why Foster stuck, but it's stuck. And it would seem like Foster was like that regular guy, you know. So it came about, and we just said, you know what, this works. It works. Higher Foster. Foster is the person that has a can-do spirit, the one who is hungry to make it in life and wants to use what he has, which is his marketing, to make it big.
Yeah.
So that's exactly essentially how it came about.
Okay, interesting. So let me try and see if I get this properly. So it was called the social experiments.
Like I said, in-house. In-house.
In-house
Yes.
or ZI again?
Sorry? No. At the time, it was a team of people who were typically those who were the go-tos when the company ZI wanted to hire. So yes, in-house. So you can say yes, in-house of ZI. Yeah. So ZI became that company where when the request became like
More frequent.
got to a point. So he said, you know what, if we continue to do this, it would distract the main thing that ZI was doing, which was help companies see better. So we just kind of they just took out their HR, yeah, part of the company,
Mm-hmm.
and said, you know what, we will continue to get this request. So you know what, you guys just handle it and become a separate company entirely.
Okay, okay. I think at this point it's going to be necessary for you to explain exactly like what you guys do at Hire Foster and what your services are. And then my,
Okay, so
my question will
exactly, so very plain and simple. But what we do is we are connectors. So think of Hire Foster as the connecting point for local and international companies who are sick. So Hire Foster is we're a very niche recruitment company. So we are a marketing recruitment company.
okay.
So we have come to understand. So this is that was company was formed by people who are marketers, who understood the problem that comes with one finding a job as a marketer, having the company or the recruitment department of a company understand what a marketer does.
Okay.
So what we do is so if I start listing what we do, essentially at the heart of what we do is we connect local and international companies to marketers across the tandem. So think of brand comms, corporate comms, social media, content management,
Mhm.
uh, um, uh, client service, all the way up to a few non-code tech roles: growth marketing, product marketing, customer success, technical writing. So every kind of role that played a pivotal part in customer acquisition and retention, we hire.
Interesting. All right.
Yeah.
And
So
what?
that's yeah.
Yeah.
Go on.
What are these? So those, I guess, those are the services as well that you offer. To look
That
at.
and some other ones.
Okay. So what are the other ones?
Okay, so also we also have a small market of those who insist they want to hire by themselves. But we see that traditional recruiting and HR professionals fall short when it comes to writing the kind of job ads that will get attract the kind of quality of talents they want to hire, especially for marketing. They don't understand marketing job roles, so they can't write job ads, and job descriptions for roles in marketing. We also offer those services. That's another one. Then we also offer what we call an intervention stopgap. So that's the much recent role. So we see that, especially in the tech industry, local and internationally, when startups initially raise money, they're all excited, and they hire all kinds of and then they play through. And then when they're trying to scale, they see that they cannot scale the size of what they have. So they're letting go of staff, and that is kind of causing issues for them. So we offer what we call an intervention, a stopgap, where we help to collect the staff from them and refix them in new jobs. So
So
if you have a Mhm.
okay, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
so if you have a company, you're trying to let go of some staff, we collect them from you and then find them new jobs. And then while they are in that stopgap, because we're very fast. So we're in that stopgap when they're trying to fix them in jobs. We have an arrangement with the company to have some kind of very basic benefits that they can enjoy, so that they're not exactly too thrown, you know, into confusion while they're waiting to get another job. So yes, so hiring, training as well, upskilling. We're very big on upskilling. So right now, upskilling has taken a front burner for us because of two main things. We are in the time of
What
what they
has
call
taken a big banner?
the great resignation and the great emigration.
Yeah, Mobola.
Yes,
What has taken a big banner? I don't think I caught that.
I said I think a front burner.
Okay, front.
What yes, upskilling.
Okay, upscalers. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
upskilling. So because right now and everywhere globally, there's what they call the Great Resignation, and in Nigeria, there's what we call the Great Emigration. So people are just leaving in droves.
You just had to.
I had to. I mean, I'm real, and this is my everyday reality.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I was saying, the Great Resignation, we see that many companies, especially international companies, are having people are leaving the companies, and there seems to be a lot of gaps to fill when it comes to roles in marketing. So we're saying that we are offering what we have, which is pre-tested quality talents in marketing, pre-tested African. So our talents are not limited to Africa. Right now, we have active in our pools. We have Nigerians, we have Ghanaians, we have Kenyans in our pool. So we're spreading. So we are a very Pan-African company. So we're spreading to be able to cater to every kind of African talent that you need across the African continent. So we offer African talents. So what we're saying is we believe that making cost-effective hires in Africa, that is building, we help you to build a team. So instead of just hiring just one person who is probably going to be managing your online community, and some that will probably be a bit more expensive. We would build for you at far lesser whole team for you that would deliver. We can boast and say even better, because now you have a full team that can be able to do jobs that are delineated. So what we see is those who are taking remote jobs are saying that they reckon with remote jobs, that is, the job description is quite wide. The person having to do so much. So we believe that offering them well-built teams that have well-delineated job descriptions within the same price points, we can get those for you and help you to deliver better results. That's what we offer to our international clients. And then the local ones, of course, that is upskilling. When we see this great immigration, we are building what we call succession projects and plans where we train junior beginner levels, and then we fix them with people that are in pivotal roles in marketing, so that if one person ups and leaves, the system is still running whether or not the person who's supposed to be the star has left or not.
Mm, okay. So much to unpack.
I know.
Let me begin by asking. So, first of all, do you formally recognize ZI Africa in part of your business? Do you formally, or is it like entirely different, but it's just an offshoot?
It's an offshoot. We are a different company.
So
So
totally different, no linkage, like
yes.
okay, all right. So I mean, you guys have your
Money.
own
Yes.
management, different
Yes.
founders,
Yes.
different, all of that different.
Yes.
Right,
Yes.
right, 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 right. And then so is there any difference between you guys and ZI?
Oh yes. ZI is a market 360 marketing company,
Okay.
and they do marketing campaigns, whether below the line, above the line, through the line. They just do marketing for companies, tech startups. They do full on marketing. So what we do is we hire
The marketing.
marketing talent. Yes, so that's the key what we do.
All
That's
right.
all we do. Hire and train.
All right.
And then manage for companies who are remote. So some companies say, you know what, we don't have plans to have a physical office, and we want to be able to have our teams what is like an annex. So they cede management to us. So we hire for them. They're working for the companies. They are our talents. Then we hire for them, build a team for them, manage for them, pay the salaries, make sure that they are all of their welfare is taken care of, and then we send reports independently to the clients.
Or okay, interesting. Sounds like you guys sound more like outsourced global. I don't know if you heard of them.
Yes, yes, in a manner of speaking, yes, but we're just African.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So going back to the beginning, right?
Yes,
With the name again, how the name came about. So it was Zeta Africa, and then Zeta Africa had talents, right? That it was using for the marketing, right? Like lots of talents. And so to just as an offshoot, you guys decided, okay, maybe at this point, this has to be something else, right? To handle this thing, especially whereby ZI can focus on marketing. And so by calling it social experiments, like I'm just trying to think in my head, like how like why social experiment? Like what was the experiment? Like right. So that's my question. First of all, did I get it right in the sense that this was what was happening inside of ZI, right? With you guys, social experiment. And then like why social experiment in itself? I mean, I've asked you about Hirefoster, right? The social experiment leads to Hirefoster, but like why social experiment in itself?
so what we had at the time was we had clients come to us to say, we want you to handle our marketing. But then in the course of that, there was nobody who was in house that would be the last person. So many companies were saying, we just wanted somebody who would just be like our in-house supervisor. If you are doing anything, that person sees and reports to us. If you need anything from us, that person is our go-to. So that's and that person most of the time was like the social media manager or the brand manager.
Okay. So it was working
So
with
it was
other companies.
Yes. So they'll come to us and say, you know what, uh, you guys are doing a great job, but we want you to hire somebody like So within ZI, we have what they call account executive. That is someone like Musa Obed is handling, let's say, a brand like an oil and gas brand now. They
Right.
say, you know what, we want you to find and hire for us since our contract is done and we're done with ZI. But we want you to hire for us somebody who can someone like Musa who was handling an account to continue what you guys have started. So you get
Okay.
a concurrent two-way brief. You do the job and then hire somebody who will be your go-to guy.
Okay.
So the briefs were always double like that. So you said, you know what, we cannot focus, especially if it become a big brief, we can't focus on because hiring is grueling
Time
work. We
job.
cannot we cannot focus on doing what we need to do right if the people who are pivotal to the campaign are those who are sitting in the interviews.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, we need to delineate, so we need to remove. So we've done it so much that Zeta is actually a client of Hirefoster
You said Zeta is a client of Hirefoster or something like that, right?
right now. Yeah, that's where we are. I mean, we're big now, so we're
Okay.
so yeah.
Yeah. All right. Just I like things very clear. So let me just reiterate it to understand, right? So the social experiment was so it was kind of like you guys were just doing your thing in ZI, and you
Exactly.
guys
So it was like an experiment. Let's see if this works. Let's see how well we can do at helping people to get the right fit. So
mm-hmm.
it was, so the nickname for it was, when you're done with your job, let's get on social experiment. Let's see. Let's find someone who can. So it became that. So in fact, the if you check, one of our first emails is actually called the social experiment. So it was that, like that. So as the brand grew, as we became crystallizing exactly what we wanted to what we wanted to solve, the problem that we wanted to achieve, and what we saw in the future, we knew that it was no longer an experience, has had its come into its own time. So we knew that that had to change.
All right. Now it makes sense like a lot. Why now it's like, okay, you have to hire Foster. We'll help you hire Foster, right? Or hire
Exactly.
Tui or whatever. Or yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. But I'm just thinking now, like Zeta is a marketing company.
Yes.
Right. So I'm guessing they have like a reserve of talents, right? Like their own talents that they use for their work, or like their pool of talents, I would say, right, that they use like for their marketing, etc. Right. And so once, and this, before Hire Foster was Hire Foster. So at that point, whereby companies are coming, you're working for these companies and giving them, but then these people are like, oh wait, just to clarify, is it
Hi.
that they took the account managers or they took the talents? Who did they take?
No, no. For example, typically what happens is when Zeta is working on a brand, uh, somebody is assigned to the brand. So
Okay.
within the contract. So of course, because they cannot when they're done with the contract, they cannot poach the account manager to their company. They say, find us somebody like the person that was handling the account to continue what you were doing.
All right. Okay. So, but this is more like financial in the sense of they're managing legal financial in the sense that they're managing the money and managing the legal relationship, right? In a way between, you know.
I know. I think for them it was more. It was from a marketing point of view. It was more of a continuity thing because what happens is, of course, because of the way ZI is, they're very big on. If you come to ZI, of course, it's a given. You're gonna get amplified awareness. You're gonna get more traffic. You're gonna get more people looking at you. So wanting to sustain that level of visibility, somebody who is able to uh, sustain the community that has been built, the awareness that has been built, and continue. So again, many times it could be for expansion of the team. So some people come to us when they're done with contract, they didn't realize that they needed someone in corporate comms. And I say, okay, we did. So we're like, you know what? From what we're doing, we should not be releasing with this person. The person cannot get us what we need. So you need to hire someone. And they say, you know what? Hire the person for us.
Mhm.
We think that what we are doing, what you have, what your contract only covers us doing social media for you. you need to hire a graphic person. And they say, hire that person for us. And then we do that for them. So it was the thing of, we started, as we did our job, we started finding gaps within companies that could help them be better to
Okay.
sustain what they were doing or increase the effectiveness of what they were doing.
All right. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So the account manager was the one that saw the gaps, right? And so what companies
No, no,
wanted?
no, no, no. It's ZI as a company. So
Oh,
um,
my God, I'm just getting confused. Sorry.
let me explain. Let me explain to you.
Okay.
So a brand X comes to our company and says, we want to achieve 10 million people talking about the brand.
Okay.
We want more people to know about us. That's what they come to us for. And
Right.
then ZI is able to do that. And then in the course of doing that, ZI finds that there's some kind of information that we need from the brand to do our work well.
Mm-hmm.
And there seems to be nobody who is in charge of ensuring that we have that information as at when due. And
Okay.
so when we go to them, and so in some cases, that gap causes friction with the company and the clients. Oh, we want you to do this. Oh, we asked you for this. Or they're like, oh, there's nobody to ensure that we got it to you. Or nobody can monitor. You get. So
Mm-hmm.
you hire that person for us, and then we hire for them. And then the cost of it, some people come and then their budget constrains them to a particular thing. And we say, you know what? If you want this to be still done for you, we think you need to engage somebody else that you can agree with within the budget to handle for you. So, for example, you can have someone who comes and say, you know what, my personal brand, I want to grow it. And we say, great, we can do that for you. But we think that to get some kind of result that you need to hire a personal photographer. And he
Oh,
goes, great, hire that for me. And then we hire the person for the company. It doesn't disturb our work, but that person now helps to amplify what it is that we are doing for the brand.
oh, okay. So this was the social experiment. The people that
Yes,
started hiring.
yes,
And this time, like you guys are just hiring marketing talents, like Hirefoster,
yes,
just
yes,
marketing. So any
yes.
loopholes in a company, right? You guys help them hire the loopholes in quotes.
Yes, yes, which we will make them understand the benefit of having those loopholes, and then they say, "Great, find that person for us." So we trust your word. If you say this person can do well, we trust your word, and so that constant, we trust you to get us the best. Became we need to really explore this and find the profitability of this, and that's how Hire Foster was born. Social experiments now Hire Foster.
Right, right, right. Nice. Like this very in-depth understanding.
I know.
It was necessary, sorry, like because I just wanted to like see it clearly in my head.
Okay.
Right. So I'm guessing you said that you guys work with both like local. I don't know if
Yes.
local means Nigerian or African to you.
Because we are no, local means Africa to us.
Okay, all right, all right, all right. So you work with local and with global brands.
Yes.
Right. And what do you think? So from both perspective, in sense of from a local perspective, right? What do you think is like the problem of marketing and branding? And then from the global perspectives, right? What do you think is the problem of marketing and branding, like in relation to like the companies you have so far worked with or for?
Mm. So for the local, I would say that the key is that because many brands are in what they call uh, seeking for awareness. So for them, they attach awareness to meaning if more people know about us, they would buy from us. So all kinds of marketing were sales oriented, so to speak. So it's like hiring for a local company means that you need to see talent from the point of they are able to attach what they do directly to the bottom line.
Right.
And in comparison, international companies are okay with for the next 1 year. We just want to do storytelling. We just want to tell our story. We just want to let people feel good about us.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, Africans are like, chop chop time. I mean, by month 2, I want to start knowing how much I mean, for them, the Excel is very clear. If I gave you $1,000 by month two, I should start to see that I am making a profit, not income, profit. Yes. So that sales orientation, and because again, because most people came from that sales point, the roles that were prevalent, banking, engineering. So those people are very, very. If I do one, two, three, it more has to equal to this. So marketing in itself, the real essence of marketing, which is building a brand to a point where people get to love a brand, and that can translate into cash for the company. That is still an emerging thing. So the problem with local ones is having a sales oriented or sales um, attaching direct income to marketing efforts.
Mm.
So internationally, I would say that the what I would call the problem is first of all trust.
Mm.
Trust. So and when I say trust, I don't mean trust from the point of whether whether it's fraud or not. I mean trust from the point of companies believe that because it's remote work,
Mm-hmm.
automatically there is that divide. So
Mm-hmm.
remote work means that there's dwindled trust about um, what this person doing right now. Are we sure that this person is working on what we are paid them to do?
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. Two is a time zone issue. So they're worried about the time zones to be able to collaborate
Mm-hmm.
with their current teams. So for us. So that now makes them to do really weird stuff. Really weird stuff. So yeah, weird stuff. They ask for crazy check-in times. They ask that everything you're doing, the camera has to be on. Some companies go. I mean, at least I'm not saying our client, but at least I've seen some companies that they have been complained of from African talent that they as much as introduce spyware into the work tools of their African talents, just to be sure that the spyware is monitoring them, what they are doing, what sites they're visiting. Are they doing what they should be doing? Are they on Slack, or are they on Facebook or YouTube? Crazy things. But yes,
Wow.
trust trust is what trust, and then again trust to deliver, trust to be able to know that this person can sync with the team that is on ground internationally to be able to do their work. So that's what it is.
That's very, very interesting. Like on both sides. Like I'm not surprised from the locals, right? It's like one plus one should equals to two. What are you telling me, right?
Exactly. And then again, I would say that if I mention the money factor, of course that's a game changer, because then once you mention the money factor, that is the variance in the salary, it just, of course, everything else will impact it. Inflation, your own currency in tandem with the international currency, all of that. So of course, once that is introduced into the mix, it becomes a different conversion entirely. Of then you start to calculate your salary in dollars or in pounds, and then you're starting to have you know panic. So that's also a factor.
Right. So I guess like for I mean, so does it mean like you guys now have local, like your bucket list, not bucket list, but like your pool of local talents to be outsourced, and your pool of that's to companies, right? And then pool of so talent for local companies, then put it that way, and talent for global companies, right?
Oh
And then
no,
okay, you don't separate them down.
you know what? Let me listen to you.
All
Maybe
right.
listen to you.
Right. Yeah. So like the question is like, so because I'm guessing the money factor, so some people might maybe due to experience or whatever, right? Expertise, right? Like they are global brand material, I would say, in the sense of like big companies material because they are that good, right? Whereas some talents might not be that good. But again, like you can have local talents that are very, very good, right? But they pay in Naira. I don't know, for example, let's say a tech cabal or a Flutterwave comes to you guys, right? Obviously they work in dollars, I imagine, right? So they can quote unquote afford to pay in foreign currency, but then they can decide to okay, they are registered outside Nigeria, but we know they are local companies. But let's imagine they decide to say no, we are paying you guys in dollars. I'm sorry, in Naira, right? So that will create a variance in the possible salary that you get for yourselves and then for your talent, right? So how do you factor in the local and global and then like the hiring of the talents in the like for Hirefoster?
Also, first of all, one of our key missions is to remove that divide and to say emphatically that African talents are global quality.
Oh, nice, nice.
So whether you may not seem like you are global quality yet, but we have the materials to bring you up to speed. So typically, our system, the way it runs, once you come and you are seeking for a role, you have to be pre-tested. So once you are pre-tested and you fall below the cutoff, point, you are immediately routed to a point where you can upskill. So
Okay.
we'll tell you a similar company or this role, a similar role will come up in the next 2 to 3 months. If you upskill now, in the next 3 months, you'll be qualified to have this, you know, qualify for this role again.
This is before contract or by
Sorry.
so for these people that like you reroute for upscaling,
Mhm. Mhm.
like this is before you sign a contract with them, or is it after you sign a contract with them?
Oh, before, because on the point of the entrance, there's no barrier. There's no come one, come all. Everybody can come. So anybody can see a role they like. Anybody can apply. So once you apply, it's on the point of application that we start to sort. So if you then qualify, then you can move to the next stage that you will pre-interview before you even meet an interview with the client.
Okay.
So once you are interviewed and once you have the test and you fall short, then you're routed to the point where you can now take a course to upskill.
Okay.
So what this means is that for all talent, African talents, they're global quality. They can do well with if you put them with anybody. That's our mission. That's what we're trying to tell the world.
Mhm.
So what it means is that so we don't exactly delineate. Well, um, where the variance comes in is when people that we have already uh, matched to some companies and we have grouped them into roles. For example, company X comes and says, hire us social media, uh, brand design, and the Facebook ads guy. We create that team and say for company X. So everybody there works for company X.
All right. Mhm.
You get that's at that point that we now start to delineate those who are employed or engaged and those who are not. But ordinarily, there's no you are international quality. They're not so we don't want to do that.
All right. Nice. I'm sure like that is excellent because obviously then it also reroutes brands everywhere to start leveling up, right? Because some
Yes,
people come to African marketers because they think they're cheaper, right? Obviously,
yes,
in some cases, in some companies, right, they will give them at a cheap price. But then
yes,
you are kind of changing that paradigm in the sense of
yes,
look,
yes.
oh, like if you bring your people there that are doing marketing and our people here, like our people will do like your people and even better. So
Exactly, exactly,
they're
exactly.
the same price. Love to see it. So excellent. I think well done to you guys for for that change and shift. But like for Hirefoster, like what working from I don't know if you guys are you guys I don't know if you guys registered as Nigerian or what you guys registered as, right? But like what are the challenges like what are the challenges that you face, right, as a company? So first of all, like if you are Nigerian, if you are Nigerian registered in Nigeria, what are the challenges that you face as a company, right? In the sense of, maybe regulation or barriers, or even if it's FX, all these kind of things, right? Or communication, even the internet. So what are the things that you are problematic to you as a company?
Everything.
You say everything.
Every everything.
Oh,
We don't give up. Everything. So from the point of we are registered as a Nigerian company. So you can imagine already there is already bias, against you as a Nigerian company. So two is the problem that we encounter, of course, because we want to say that we may be a local company, but our perspective is global. So we want to be able to connect with global personalities or companies, connect with them. So because there is very little communication about all the possible regulations or certifications or approvals that you need to get to be able um, to in quote represent Nigeria globally. We don't have. So, for example, it took us uh, exploring having some international trainers on our platform. And then they were asking us about some certifications that you need to have this particular certification from your country. So that particular trainer had their own New York certification from that same body. So they were saying the Nigerian version of it, we had to have it. And we did not know about it until this person said, please scan a copy of your companies. And we were like, say what?
wow.
Exactly, exactly. So we did not even know about. So we had to now go to the government office and say, you know what? Write us a list of the entire everything that we had need to know. That everybody that needs to check us off their list, so that no matter where we go, or no matter who is mentioning our name globally, we can say that we are fully backed by our country, that we are legal and we are doing good work. So that's the first thing, communication about what are these systems that are in place that we can benefit from or that can impede us from operating at the global level. That communication is not there yet. Two is, of course, the trust. Operating as a Nigerian company, there is that trust. So some companies are very, very graceful about how they turn you down. They're really, really graceful. They're very polite. They use very nice English. They write a lot of explanation, long and winding. But what they're seeing is that they don't trust you as a Nigerian company. So of course, there's the issue of low trust, and then also there's also the issue of having to um, uh, the issue that we solved with international companies was telling them that if anything goes wrong with your talent, we are like the risk is on us. So you can hold our shit. We are the ones that are promising you that this person will deliver. So you don't need to hold them. You can hold us to what they will do. So that's our first layer of removing the issue with trust of the talent, saying that we're managing the person for you, so we would ensure that this person is able to deliver. If they don't deliver, we would replace the talent for you at no cost, or we would ensure that we are able to handle whatever issue that the person may have cost you, in the course of that. So also, of course, there's the internet, and there's electricity, all those typical basic, but they at the meat at the heart of it, the ones that impact uh, company growth or company spread are those ones that have to do with relating with clients, earning their trust, um, uh, being increasing our awareness out there. Of course, like you said, money, having plenty money at a startup, like like I said, we say every day is the end of the wrong way. There's no wrong way. You are spreading the mat and running as the mat is about to finish. You spread it again. There's no wrong way. Where every day the boot is all the way to the knee. You are strapped
Mhm.
properly. So of course, money is also an issue. Again, FX in tandem with the naira. So all of that are very, 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 very
All right. Um, I don't even know. Nigeria is happening. That's just it. Nigeria is
yes,
happening to you. Um,
yeah.
company when all those things start emerging, right? But yeah, I'm sure that on the talent side, have you had talents that have like straight out disappointed you? Like
Are you
maybe
kidding?
you gave
Of
them
course,
work and you're
it's
like,
an everyday thing. And oh dear. Some fact because we have a policy at Hirefoster that when you hire from us,
yeah,
first of all, if the person doesn't deliver, at least in the first 3 months, it doesn't matter how many times the clients are messing up. As long as it's within the first 3 months, we would replace for you at no cost. So you
okay,
can imagine it's already the cost of sourcing, interviewing, shortlisting the person
yeah,
that we
yeah.
take on when we have to replace that talent. Then
Mm-hmm.
some of them straight out resume at the job, and then they send a letter to the employer saying, "I've resigned," and they don't tell us. Then they run away. And then the client is like, "This person you employed sent me letter of resignation," or they tell us they
Jesse.
sent an offer. I'm telling you. So we're like, "Yay!" They took the offer. Then they decline the offer, and then they send it to the employer themselves, and they don't communicate with us. Or the ones that the employer is about to send some employers will send your work to laptop and everything. They're about to send it. They find at the last minute that the person has some kind of burner account and it was attached to fraud, and then they began to worry that the person used that company name or with this sign fund money. And we're like, you did not tell us that you had a burner account. You did not, have you done Yahoo before? You didn't tell us that you were into Yahoo, so
Wow.
so there. So it's always that's a constant. Again, some people we go to interviews. We had a particular client that we had to do a two-time replacement for the client before they were satisfied.
Wow.
We had the first, yeah. Some, in fact, but there's what we call it's an in-house joke. It's what we call the red list. Some people, yeah, the red list. We want this person has been hired by at least three companies, and they keep coming back like this person doesn't know what they're doing. So you put them, you put them on the red list, and
Mm-hmm.
then for every time there's an upskilling thing, you inform them you don't know this thing. You need to learn it. So there are all sorts of categories like that. Some people that would sound nice, they would have their pay someone to do their CVs for them, and then go literally cram all the buzzwords and sound nice, convince the employer,
Yeah.
bamboozle, and then they get there, and then you're like, uh, um, and the client is like, this person is struggling.
Wow. Pooh.
We can see that this person is struggling, guys. What happened? And they were like, if we didn't interview them, we would have said maybe they bamboozled you, but they bamboozled us as well. So how come? So we had to go back and start putting more stringent what I call it systems to ensure that even if, for example, there are some roles that we may not know about, but that we're hiring for. So
Yeah.
what we do is we now have to include what we call the excellent interviewer. So at the point of interviewing, we have somebody who will be silent throughout the interviews, but the person is subject matter expert, who's taking note of their answers, and then is sending us questions that are skill specific to ask to check the person's capacity. So that has been what we have used to solve that problem of, uh, you know, running or faking your way into getting a job. So we put those stringent. So what we did is we typically just went to we are always hunting for those who people will call the go-tos to recommend for jobs. So if Musa Obed is known as the go-to when it comes to uh podcasts about comms, we will sign him as a interviewer to come on board. Anytime we have someone who wants to be a podcaster interview, he would come in our interviews, sit back, listen to the person talk, and then send your review. So we send all of that to the client before they hire.
Oh, okay. So like a proper DD, proper due
Yes,
diligence.
yes, yes.
Because first of all, let me ask the person that resigned that time that sent resignation to the company, was that something is telling me that person's agency?
It's not one person. Yes, the agency. It's not one person. People. So and we're like,
It's not one person.
what do you mean? And then the client will forward us the person's email where they carefully, address only the employer and they resign anyway.
Wow. But they don't tell you
Mhm.
guys.
They don't tell us.
But do you pay them?
So because eh?
Have you paid them by that point?
No. It's a case of they're not being paid by us. Some of them, we have two categories.
Okay.
So in Hirefoster, we have what we call the one-off hiring and the management. It's under the management that we manage the remote team. Under the one-offs, that one is some companies say we can't afford the management fee of it.
Mm-hmm.
We want to just hire and seed the talent to us.
Oh, okay.
So we just hire and then they still the company pays the salary and all of that. So we just charge service charge of hiring for the company. So
All
it's in
right.
that case that so yeah, exactly. So when it comes to that, it's a case of when we see the talent to you by the after the when their time of what do you call it probation is over, we then send an email or when it's about to be over, we send an email to the client asking them are they how is the talent doing? Are they okay with the talent? Is there any issues? We also send the email to the talent. How is the work culture? Are you able to thrive? Is there anything you need? You have an issue? Do you want to so within that window of the first 3 months where we can quickly you know readjust or switch things around, we ensure that we are always following up. Yes.
All right. So up until so you guys are responsible. So you guys are still in partnership with the clients up until 3 months. So by the fourth month, basically that talent is the company's and any other thing is the company's.
In the case, yes, in the case where they want to, no. In the case when they want to, where they want us to see the talent to them, that is, one of hire from
Yeah.
day one. Once we hire for you and you're on a one of category, the talent is yours.
All right. So the contract is signed by the company. Like the talent signs the contract from the company and they are like part of
Yes,
the company's team. Okay.
yes, yes, yes.
All right. Okay.
So it's in that category that we now so because again, so our contact with the company that is hiring that talent is that within the first 3 months, if they're not okay, we can switch for them at no cost, or if they have any issues, of course. So there's no risk attached to us when the talent is being ceded to you. Yeah, it's only when we are managing the person for you that we bear the risk.
Okay. If I was in your position, I would just go for word of hires. I will pray that.
Yeah, that's the thing. The African markets that's another they don't either they don't want to spend money or they can't afford. They're not saying no. Don't
Uh,
give us that's that African thing of you know uh owning 100% of it. Just hire see the time to us. Just hire for us. Don't worry, we are fine. We'll take care of it. And then so
yeah.
in fact, we partnered with a background check company too. When somebody wanted to run away with the company too, so we had to partner with a background check company, saying, you know what, when we are inside, this person has looks good from where we are standing, but you may want to do a background check, and so our partners, like, you can meet them and have a background check done on this person as well.
Oh wow, nice. Oh, interesting. But I think like all these things, because Nigeria is like the pot of problems in many ways. And I see that with the deep sigh. But the benefit I'm saying is that for example, the person that had Yahoo account, right, they're going to have more insight and knowledge how to manage better, right, than other companies. So, like, maybe a company, I would guess in Kenya or a company in South Africa or I don't know, in Zimbabwe or something, right? Maybe they don't have fraud cases, right? So it's like the first time they experience is like what is happening, right? You'll be so confused. But you guys are like, oh, we know this thing. Like, we know how to handle you people, like people that are coming from. So, I mean, in that sense, right? The problems are making you a better company, competitive wise, and in terms of like ability to survive, just the whole ecosystem as like hiring ecosystem, right? I'm seeing that you guys are going to do much better than other African companies just because of the Nigerian factor, right? Which in one way says the Nigerian factor is somehow a benefit to you. Well, obviously not, because the problems also reduce so much money and so much potential for growth at the same time. I don't know. Double-edged sword, I suppose.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Can be,
All right.
can be.
Okay. So you are the CMO in
Yeah,
Hirefoster. So even within the marketing, you're the market. Even within the marketing hiring company, you're the marketer
I
herself.
am. I am.
So what, from the company's perspective, right, is the dream, right? And maybe you can start from a marketing point of view, and then like from a vision and long-term point of view. Like, what is the dream for Hirefoster? Right, first of all, and then what is your own Nigerian dream, if you have one?
Okay. I would say that from the company perspective, what is our vision? Um, our vision is, first of all, is to be the one to like be the beacon to let the world know that not just Nigerian but African talent are world class. There seem to be, up until Q1, there's this argument: are African talents world class? Are they able to perform at the level of other people who probably have more access to amenities that would make their learning or their work easier? So there seems to be that initial, would I say, stereotype or bias that maybe not due to their own fault, maybe due to the function of the society that they are in. African talents are not world class. They may not be able to perform on some things or use some tools or get some results because they are African. So we wanted to our vision is to debunk that, saying that African talents are world class. We are able to give results. We are able to stand shoulder to shoulder with anyone that comes to giving companies results. That, so that's it. Two is that, of course, much more than saying us being the go-to for marketing talents, is that we want to be we want to be seen as the link of bringing clarity. So for us, clarity meaning that helping African talents to see what is possible for them in terms of their career goals. So many Africans have this. Again, they have this. They've been in these conditions where you're working in a place where it's a seal. You cannot see the growth projection of your career. You just know that you will be a marketer and you'll be here the next 10 years. A lot of people have been in that space. So saying we are taking up that signal and saying it is possible for you may or may not go outside of Africa, or you can be able to have opportunity to have a career that can grow and can help you to achieve your dream of whatever you want to be in life. And two, from the point of clarity, is to let the rest of the world see that, of course, that you can get good results, or your company can thrive and grow and be profitable if your talents, are African, and also to help us to remove that, manage it like that mentality. That, because it's Nigerian and many things are not available, just manage whatever it is, that just don't manage it like that.
Use our whole body.
That's the vision for us. So, the desire for excellence, seeing performing at the best possible level, of yourself or of your career. That's for us the goal. And then for me, it's an imagine, I just say that, I just want to be able to, tell my story of, okay, wait, let me clarify. Are you saying what is my vision
So
for
your
myself?
Nigerian, yeah. So
The
more
Nigerian dream.
the Nigerian dream, yeah. So what is, if you have a dream for Nigeria, or if you have a dream for your new place where you want to get passport to?
You
uh,
know, you don't loud it. Obey, don't loud it. Don't loud it. I have a dream. Just don't shout.
eh?
Don't loud
I can't hear you.
it. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No, I was kidding around. So
Okay.
yes, my
Oh,
my
was that part
dream,
of it?
I think so. So
Oh,
my
okay.
dream,
Oh my god.
uh, when you
Okay,
said
that's
when you
the
said
dream.
the
That's the
dream of women, my future passport, so I was saying don't loud it. Mm, yes. Mm.
no one, no one.
So yes, my dream, um, I have um, I have a passion for just helping businesses, uh, of course, understand how. From when I was a young girl, I've always had that knack of when you tell me something, I just am able to see angles, and I didn't have a name for it. I didn't know how to call it. I just knew that if you told me something, told me an idea, told me a business idea, told me a plan idea, I just was able to see other parts that seem interesting to it for the longest time. So for me, that has stayed with me. So that any, job I find myself in, I'm able to, uh, help, the business or the company to find ways to connect meaningful and, lasting, what's the word, lasting connections with their desired customer. So in whatever capacity it is, for me, it's about helping the company to find what are the base ways that we can create more meaningful, lasting connections with our desired customer. But right now, where I am, my dream for myself in Hirefoster is that when I am out, you see how, let me give an example, how, let me say in Yaboyeji, how he just steps out and his personality just kind of personifies. You can see this is African tech. Anywhere he goes, whatever company it is, this person is African tech. Like that's my dream. Like this person is, when it comes to marketing solutions, you know, Africa or globally, this person is just a competent, person that's go to. That's my dream. So for Nigeria, my dream for Nigeria is just that things will, that 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 the the playing field will be level.
Mm.
That's what, because we can be idealistic in what we want to see, but I think that the path to true change or to growth is to keep bringing down the barrier of access to those who can be able to contribute positively
Mm-hmm.
and who can grow with it. So we cannot wish corruption away. We can just keep, bringing more people in who can, influence others to do better or to do right. You
Yeah.
know. So that's my dream. I don't know if that makes sense.
All right. Yeah, it does. I think it's necessary because what tends to happen with places of inequality most times is that the inequality across generation tends to widen, right? So I don't know. Let's imagine Mobola had, I don't know, right? It was in the 1% of Nigerians, right? And probably
Yeah.
I was in the people trying to like living on 96 cents, right? On
Mhm.
dollars per day. Like our children, like your children will be much better than my child will be, because of different reasons, right? Education and what, which my children will not have, and my children will be struggling, right? So I mean, I really understand what you say by playing field. And I was actually having a conversation with somebody just yesterday about maybe the real place to fight equality is, from childhood, in the sense of from when a child is born to probably when they're 12. After that, I think it's really hard, and it's really up to the human being to decide, you
For
know,
themselves.
exactly if you want to like go break this barrier, right? But I think, like for children, primary school children, junior secondary school, it has to be a level whereby, from a government perspective, right, the quality of education, the quality of information that goes across your citizens, right? It's kind of the same. Because that is where the opportunity is, the materials you have that will not allow you to use it, once you're 15, 16, 18, university, blah, 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 right there for it. That base allows you to have the fighter spirit or not, right? To want to do things or not, to want to dream or not. So the other things that we're fighting for today, right, are much tougher, in my opinion, for some people because the formative periods were not properly given, or they were not properly formed, right, from childhood in the sense of education and information. So I think I dream with you in that sense that we just need a level playing field. If not,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. It's easier for you to see perhaps where you're from is a bit more monolithic.
Mhm.
Nigeria is the salad of
Where I'm
salad.
from, I'm Nigerian now.
Well, not Nigeria.
Ah,
Nigeria is Nigeria is the salad of I don't know all kinds of how you can think of it. I don't think that like you say from a very young age. I think that they're not leveling the playing field like you said from the young age. In some places are deliberate
mm,
because the leveling it will mean that then the people gain independent thoughts. Then the people are able to free themselves. Then the people are able to advance themselves. Then the people are able to fight for what they believe is right. And then they will strengthen. The people become the opposition against the powers that are putting those barriers there. That's what I feel. And I think that, like you said, even across growing ages, the playing field is not level. So what a child who is in the south may have access to, some children don't even have access to it in the north or in the east. All of that. So yes,
all right. Yeah, I agree with you, right? And I think people that are going to listen will, especially the Nigerian, right? They'll be nodding their head, even though silently, maybe. But yeah. So Mobola, thank you so much for agreeing to be part of the conversation today. Thank you for explaining. I like to ask about names, right? And like, I don't regret asking it for you guys because, first of all, like I dived into a whole of confusion, but I got back out with clarity. Uh, so yeah, thank you for speaking about health. So thank you for speaking about what you do, and thank you for your vision, right? And what you guys are trying to do, especially payments wise, right? To just give
yeah,
people what's according to their talents, right, and skill, right? What
yes,
they
yes,
deserve.
yes, yes,
That
yes.
is
And with that, we've actually also again a big part of what we do is finding partnerships that can make our dream valid.
Okay.
Like you said, payments has been an issue for why international companies don't want to work with Africans, because there's no way to pay you. So what we are always doing is finding the company that is making payments to Africa easier, connecting with them and having them signed on, so that companies know that these people have accounts that have no restrictions of a flow of FX straight, that they can, if you are going to pay a person in FX, they have an account that you can pay FX to, and there will not be an issue.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm just thinking of how much work, right? Because a lot of companies are coming out in Nigeria, kind of daily, a lot of funding.
Mhm.
Right. If you're subscribed to like TechCrunch and Tech about,
Mhm.
right, there's some
Yeah, yeah,
about like
yeah,
series upon series upon series. So
yeah.
just trying to really see, if people, because some people, yeah, their companies, yeah, they might have even received millions, right? But then like
Mhm.
their structure and like their product is not exactly, it's not there yet, right? In terms of what you want. So I mean, I'm just thinking of the work you guys have to go through. Yeah, already doing
Oh,
work, but then you have to
the
do
work,
that extra work.
the work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Especially because our industry is very, the structure is still very, what do you call it? It's still very soft.
Hmm.
Anybody who has a phone believes that they are a marketer. Anybody who posts on their Instagram believes they can do social media.
Hmm.
So putting structures to be able to see who is a good talent.
Hmm.
How can you inspire people who have interest but don't have skill to
Mm.
want to do better, improve
Yeah.
themselves? So that's a constant job that we do.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. I don't know. Like, good luck. Like that. I think that's like, ah
I know, I
ah.
know, we need it. I know.
I hope 2023 comes with better luck. In
Oh,
Nigeria.
it will. It will, because I mean, setting sky high KPIs for myself of what to achieve, because we started officially January 4th,
This year.
2022. Yes.
Wow. 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 Okay.
So, and so far we believe we have we have 12 clients, four
Mm-hmm.
of which are recurring what repeat customers. So yes, so to be able to have that level of um convincing people, and I'm talking people who are hiring proper levels of multiple roles across.
Yeah.
So able to achieve that in that time. So establishing ourselves in ways where we can establish certain foundations that can help us to thrive by next year. Establish partnerships with us. But initially, Obed, I mean, the assessments that have to happen. We have to sit with those who are assessing. We have to assess those who will assess. So who qualifies to be able
Yeah.
to give us test questions? We couldn't afford at the beginning. We still can't afford test platforms like Test Gorilla. So we had to be able to find our own teams of those who understand what is done, and create those teams to sit together to put together what is the viable assessment test across roles. I'm talking 15, 17 roles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's established systems, the marking, the all of that. Of course, then feed that into the AI. Then the AI says, okay, Obed's results sound nice. His CV can match with
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft. That's the entire system. Yes.
Okay. Well, again, like it just reiterates kind of like what I said in the sense of, like because you guys are bootstrapping. I never know you guys were like this young self. But like because not being able to like go for text career, right? has made you guys economize and think, "Okay, how can we do this right?" But then you
Yes.
guys are like
Yes.
thinking of the best next way to do it, which gives you
Exactly.
an advantage because tomorrow you can even decide to not even go for test grade again because this works for you, right? And in terms of
Yeah.
this might be like cheaper, way cheaper, so you are saving money. In that,
Mm.
so I mean, the double-edged sword again. The theory of Nigeria's
You're right.
double-edged sword.
Oh, Nigeria will not. I think the mantra is Nigeria will not prevail because Nigeria happens many times. Just that Nigeria must not prevail.
Uh,
Nigeria can, that's true.
Um, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, Mobola.
Thank you for
Thank you
inviting me.
for what you guys are doing. Thank you for your time. Right. I hope that probably once you guys have, once Mobola has probably become the I don't okay, like the in of marketing, right?
Yes,
That's how
the
you want
Mobola of marketing. Yes, the area of
exactly
marketing. Yeah,
the
yeah,
Mobola
you're
of
right.
marketing.
Of marketing. Yes, yes.
Um yeah, we'll have another conversation. And but like more precisely from the perspective of how were you able to manage like Gen Zs? Like I want to have sometimes I just want to have conversations about like hiring and working with Gen Zs. That should be like a whole full-time job, in my
I,
opinion.
I tell people that again the beauty of what I've learned is because IZ is very she's the kind of person who likes to learn from unlikely places. So she hires a lot of Gen Zs very often. So at working with Zeta, you have to overcome your frustration very quick because work needs to be done. So what we started doing was so you need to when they come to you because they are very tactical.
Mhm.
Many of them are not strategic; they're tactical. So they see what
Sorry, you said
they
many of them
can.
are not strategic, they are tactical.
Yes, yes.
What's the difference?
The difference is that when you're strategic, you are seeing the board side, you are seeing the what's the full picture. So you are when you're thinking of a strategy, it is from the outset. This is what we want to achieve.
Okay.
But when you're tactical, you are thinking um, single actions that can make something happen. So, for example, when you're thinking strategy, we would say, how can we make Obed Sports podcast to trend on TikTok? We would say um, a strategy is that we'll get Obed to come and do a Twitter space and talk about why don't people like podcasts?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then that what we get from that Insta life will guide how we will do the strategy. Do you see? But a Gen Z will say their strategy is that Twitter spaces.
This is their strategy.
You get that's the strategy. We can do a Twitter space, we can do it. It's like that's not where you're going. The goal is not that because
Mm.
if you run on tactics, you will run out of fuel very quickly.
It's investor vibes now. Investor vibes. They're like, which one?
Exactly.
Which
You
one?
understand? Yeah, invest working with them is that we we learn to listen to them, you know, talk about the idea that they have in their head.
Mm-hmm.
Because what a Gen Z wants most is to be seen as to be seen as having value in themselves.
Mm.
Yes, they feel that people think that because they are young and because they are always looking like happy-go-lucky, so people don't take them seriously. So their fight is always to be taken seriously. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're listened to, they feel seen. They feel seen. So when you allow them to say their idea, they are crazy. Most of the ideas are always crazy. So you can hang somebody can put a hot balloon on Third Milan Bridge, and somebody can hang from it, waving the flag. Listen to Uber's podcast. Those are the kind of ideas they come up with. And
Uh-huh.
you're like, wow, great. Okay, so you can now see that what they are seeing is awareness that is very, very, flamboyant. That's what they're trying to say. So
Mm-hmm.
it is now your job to now walk them back. When they are done telling their fantastic stories, then
Yeah.
you now walk them back to say, okay, are you trying to say that you think that it should be something that is very shocking? So they will say, yes, 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 that's it, that's it. Okay, yeah, that's it. And you say, go back and think of how can we work with doing that within this budget. By the time they go two, three times,
Yeah.
with each time they come back, is you can see that the idea is refined and you, you the key thing about working with Gen Zs is that you must ensure that you don't kill that their spirit of this is the crazy idea I have, because that's what millennials or people that are older do, because they are
Yeah.
so in a hurry to get it done. They just stop them and say, what, earth, come back to earth and be serious and do what you need to do, and so
Yeah.
once they're able to know that they can be able to express themselves, and that you can support them to refine what they are thinking or what they are doing,
Mm-hmm.
so, and then again, is that they are able to because I'm a parent now,
Mm-hmm.
so I understand having to, because they're like big children, they're like big babies, yeah, that you cannot, yeah.
Ah, hey, did you say that?
I
Somebody listen to this now. Or maybe we like people working with you, the Gen Z, they're like,
no
this
no
show.
no no no, and when I say babies, as
Yeah.
in, I'm not saying in terms of that they are helpless.
Oh,
What
this.
I mean is that they don't have filters. For them, the world is as it is. So it's like do it all, experience it all.
Mm,
Yeah. So, and you cannot, at their age, you can't be smacking them or chastising them. So you
yeah.
need to be able to have emotional intelligence, be able to how do you guide them without killing that childlike, you get childlike wonder, childlike, let's
Yeah.
do it. See how they, when we had the protests in Nigeria, then we're the ones that were calling the president a bad boy. He's been naughty. Millennials will probably say the same thing, but with finer words. You get.
The
So
president is very interesting in his approach to citizens. Is that how millennials will
you
say it?
get. No, no. Millennials, they probably will say that maybe he's doing rubbish. They can say, but they won't say he's been a bad boy. Or he's been not. Somebody said some Gen Z went on video and on live
Yeah.
interview and said he's been a naughty boy, he's been a bad boy. You know,
Yeah.
yes, you
That
get
babe is actually like so I was sorry, like the babe that said that because I think she has been an icon to represent the Gen Z, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing at the end of the day. Because even her, she doesn't want to be identified with that. I was watching Cotty, right? Because Cotty invited her for one of her episodes, and
okay.
the girl literally stated that I beg, like, don't attach me to that.
Of course, because of course they probably told her that's not the way to go. They should have said that, even no matter how angry. So, like I said again, the presence of mind to be able to check yourself, to have a filter
Yeah.
and refine your expression to communicate the message, without and not get carried away. That's what Gen Zs don't have. That
Mm,
filter. That's why I call them babies. Yeah. So, and you need them in every organization. You need them because older people, millennials, Gen X, boomers, they have a tendency to just follow groupthink. Once the leader has said follow the leader, they follow the leader. Gen Zs are the one that will say no. They're going to sit down, and if you get angry, they'll just say I resign, and then they'll walk away. Then they'll walk away. You get. So you
yeah.
need Gen Zs to be able to show you, you know,
Show
because
you the
they are the
way.
ones that are to show you that to to say no is empowering, or to see a different view is empowering, and it can be the game changer that you need,
Mm,
to turn things around. So being able to not follow group think, being able to not just agree with it, being able to be heard, being able to see a different perspective is what you need to be able to win. Your next line of skill or your next growth
yeah.
can be in that different perspective. So that's why I like Gen Zs. Apart from, and then again, they bring fun. they bring fun. They bring fun into every company. You need to allow them. You need a space of, just let it go. Let it go. Don't just let it go. It's okay. Let them be themselves. It's just you cannot be angry about that. Just let it go. Let it go. So we have the compression time when any HOD just like, just you tell yourself breathe, breathe, and listen for the gems, in what they are saying. Calm
Mm-hmm.
yourself. They come back to you with all kinds of work that they've done. Some of them are teachable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what many people have they're asking is how what they are asking is not how can we help Gen Z be teachable? What they are saying is how can we control Gen Zs? And that is what Gen Zs don't want.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to
I think anybody doesn't want to be controlled per se. Like, okay, maybe some people want to be, but like across generation, okay, the formative thing again, right? I think because there was just so much, so Gen Z by definition, right? Most of them, first of all, they never experienced dictatorship, right? And most of them, I mean, the 98, 7, and 6s experienced it, but they were still small, right? So, in the sense of even environmentally speaking in Nigeria, societal and cultural, like they did not experience even a leadership per se that was autocratic, right? There was more freedom once they were born, and that may be translated to their freedom of expression and freedom. And like when they were younger, like things were good, right? Everybody had money. Everybody's family like was doing better.
I think you are seeing this from the Nigerian perspectives. Gen Zs are the same everywhere. I'm telling you, they're the same everywhere, everywhere.
Okay,
They're
okay.
the same. They're the ones who are marching for protest. They are the ones that were protest that were rejoicing. No, that had a protest to protest the Wade versus Roe. They
Yeah.
are the ones. Yes. So I Gen Zs are the same difference. So I think that the what I see that is interesting is that most Gen Xs and millennials
Mm-hmm.
uh, use Gen Zs as their vicarious point
Mm,
of release.
mm-hmm.
So you would not experience what I had to go through to, you know, repress what I really want to say. So that
Mm-hmm.
I'll allow you. So if anybody wants to bully you into not saying, I will defend your right to say what you need to say. Maybe we didn't give them the boundaries within which to say. So now they're like, they just don't want to be, they just want to say what they want to say. I believe that working with Gen Zs um, is about allowing them to express themselves. It's about listening, being good with listening, and listening means ensuring that you are able to connect with what they are saying and be able to guide their thinking, in a way that aligns with what needs to be done. So many times the impotence is because the person who is speaking with them or working with them feels that they are not catching up to corporate structure, corporate speak, or corporate work. It seems like what they are saying seems like it's not modeled in that way. So working with them means that we are able to listen and guide them into be able to, to dress their expressions in a way that it can help them to connect and be taken, and be taken. I'm not taking seriously and be and have what they are doing or saying rewarded, at that level. You get that's what it is. So to work with them to understand, to then to also be listen to them, and of course to accept their work as a good part of what is of the company or the end results, because their perspective is always interesting. It can be humbling, and it can even give fresh eyes to what is being done.
Nice. At this point, I think you should just become you should be a coach, I be consultant for
Oh,
Gen Z
like I
and baby
said,
boomers.
The story of Hirefoster is way, way, way back. It started from, in fact, maybe another podcast, and then I'll tell the journey of how Jedi became popular for, training social media managers, for being the
Wow.
go-to to hire from. Yeah, it's a long story. It's
Wow. So Gen Z has an
so yeah.
element there, I suppose.
Sorry,
I suppose Gen Z has an element in that story.
will I the Gen Z or the Nigeria and the hunger to succeed? Actually, the hunger in Nigeria must not happen to you. Is the
Somebody said,
ingredient? Huh? Yeah.
yeah.
So
Oh,
yes.
interesting. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I, another important thing I guess that people don't really understand is that, even Isaac, my conversation with Isaac, right? Isaac was her child is not Gen Z, he's after. I don't know what the generation is.
They're called Generation Alpha.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, Generation Alpha.
So Alpha generation, she was just complaining like Gen Z is even like the tip of the iceberg. Like those guys, I think what she categorically said once was about school, right? That the child was like I think she wanted to tell him to do assignments or something, right? But he wasn't like, why? You're the one that sent me to school. I don't send myself to school or something like that. I was like, that's bad, though. Crazy something.
Yeah.
But in the long run, like the people don't understand that the earlier you start to understand this generation and manage them, the better for you because the job market will be filled with them, especially like from an African perspective. The job market is
Yes.
going to be flooded with them in the next, like proper
Oh yes.
in the
And they're
next.
the ones who are saying things like, um, why do you have to? In fact, Gen Zs are the what do you call it? They're the nemesis of the current HR.
Yeah.
HR. So they're the ones who would raise a case and saying, why did the HR send me back because I tied a scarf on my shirt? They're the ones who want to come off to work with their short shorts, and tie a scarf or wear cutoffs or wear,
Mhm.
trench coats over knickers. And for them, they're like, what you need from me is my brain. I just need me to work. Why are you concerned about how I look? They're the ones who will fight. So yeah, the coming ones they are the question askers. Gen Zs are the ones who just say you don't like it and then they walk away. The ones that come after them, those ones will question you, make you to question yourself, and
The philosophy generation.
yes,
Yeah.
that's it. That's the word. They're right. The
Um,
philosophy generation, they're the ones they want to understand everything, and they're asking a million questions and asking embarrassing questions. Questions
yeah.
that you just
But yeah,
social graces. They don't know. They don't know social graces at all.
maybe for hire for stuff for all your clients, you'll be like, okay, if you're giving them a Gen Z, just do a Gen Z cost package, and you're like, I warning you, oh, this is how you should go about it. Like, this is how you should treat them. Oh. Like, if you don't do like this, don't come to us because I've given you money. Well, yeah.
Like for best results.
Do you understand? KYC, know your talent. KYT, know your talent.
For best results, apply this and this. This is contradiction. Don't use this word. We are talking to them. I have
Ah,
something.
Gen Z FAQ.
Yeah.
All
You're
right.
right.
Yeah, as I was saying, like employers, they need to brace up, because to be flooded with them. Like for you guys, for you and Isaac, like you guys, like Gen Zs will even want to come to you guys. I don't think you guys have a problem, but I'm just saying companies that the even all the way to the very autocratic and not patriarchy, not cultural patriarchy, but I would say patriarchy in the sense of like you don't want like women to succeed because you're a leader as a man or something, right? So in that sense, right, or you don't want to employ more women. But and the funny thing that a lot of people will see, especially like I guess boomers and Xers, right, is that is the boys from the Gen Z self that might ever attack you for this kind of practices sometimes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
like the better you start understanding the dynamics, right,
yeah,
and they're very multi-layered, very equality.
yeah. Not exactly. Multi-layered. They're the ones who are questioning everything, questioning gender,
Yeah.
questioning gender roles, questioning capacity. Of course, the Xers and the boomers and millennials, they just fit into the role. They're the ones who, for them, it's not strange that you are a high level corporate executive and
Mm-hmm.
you're in a meeting. They expect that because you are the female, you should take the minutes or you should serve them tea. You get the Gen Zs will have none of that.
Yeah, like at all.
So yeah,
All right. So yeah. So for even for somebody listening that you want to start a business, maybe you have a business already. Maybe the problem is not them. It's you. It's you. I'm telling you that the problem is you. Go and learn how to manage them. And maybe you have better results. And like their next people are coming up. So if you like, don't learn. That's how because of employees, your company will go bust. Because you know how to manage.
but again, I would recommend that um because if we have this, it's not them, it's you perspective, then they are bound to be on the defensive that no, I mean, every other person is getting and doing what they're supposed to do. So
Yeah.
I think what we should be saying is if you are starting a company, because people think that it's more cost effective to hire Gen Z because they are cheaper.
Mm,
Yeah, they think that it's cheaper to hire. But then you're having Gen Zs who are hyper focused, at what they're doing. They're the
mm-hmm,
ones who, for example, now, it's becoming popular now in the hiring community to use less of chronological resume. That is how Gen Zs are used to doing their work
mm-hmm.
and using what they call a functional resume,
Okay.
meaning that I have experience in these 3 months. I have done the kind of work repeatedly
Mm-hmm,
that you did in 1 year. So you did it in 1 year, but I have this hyper focus. And so if I use my CV in a chronological way, it will show that I have 3 months experience. But
mm,
believe me, some Gen Zs say my 3 month experience is worth a lot because I have done this thing over and over and over so much, so often. This is all I do. I'm just a young person with no responsibilities, and so this is all I do. So I have capacity to give you some kind of result that you have not seen before. So we are trying to tell people, you know what? When you are getting CV from us, you would see some kind of CV format that will not follow what you are used to. They will
mm-hmm,
not have 7 years experience. They will not have they will not line their CVs in proper way. They will just put their CVs year, you know,
mm-hmm.
maybe 2022 last 2 years, and they can box their CVs into two-year interval, and then be showing you, stuff that they've done, and you're like, wow. So and again, so it matches into what is happening right now because right now the market is becoming more skill focused
Mm-hmm.
over expression. So if that's what you want, if you just want to see who can give you results, their series are able to show you this person knows this particular thing, they have this skill, they've done it for this number of brands even in this short time, much more than somebody who had taken their time to grow through the ranks and have this well-lit chronological CV. So I think that it's a win-win to hire or work with Gen Zs. That's what I think. Just be sure that you are able to listen and suspend your own what you think is proper to listen to them, and then have the guide them to be able to contextualize in company appropriate ways their
Mm-hmm.
ideas. So that's it.
Okay. All right. How did we get, almost, see how we went.
How did we get here, right? I
How did
know.
you come to giving advice to employees about Gen Z? Anyways, I love it. I love it. That's the beauty of podcasts at the end of the day, from my opinion. You start off with something and you start off in
And then
Maraba and you end up in Hong Kong somehow. Uh,
this is Maraba.
Maraba, Abuja, yes.
Yes, but you sound like a Nigerian.
uh, oh, because I said Maraba, now I sound like I'm a Nigerian.
No, no, it was the way you said Maraba, like somebody that lived in Abuja properly.
No, I'm an ABJ boy, like very proper ABJ boy. That's what I am.
I still don't believe you, sir.
Okay now. No, wala. Once I knock on your door one day, Mobola. Or me and Isaac will come together and knock so that you believe.
Oh, that would be interesting.
All right. So thank you again this time
Thank
for
you.
giving us Chelsea advice as well. And yeah, can't wait to see how you guys do next year. Hopefully, we get a leadership that will give you guys more ease to do what you're doing. And just policies that will guide you, and maybe like a Nigerian reputation that is favorable, right? To reduce that trust
Yes.
issues. But in the
You see,
meantime, we do. In the meantime, thank you. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep hiring people because you're providing employment too. And yeah, we'll see ourselves in the next conversation podcast, hopefully.
yes.
Whereby
Oh, great.
Mobola of
Thank
marketing.
you know this.
Ah,
You know this. Thank you. I appreciate coming on your podcast, and I would like to. I mean, before I met you, I didn't know about the podcast, so yes, I would like to have a link to it and tell people about it so that we can have more people
all right,
know
sure.
about your podcast.
Sure. Why not? Do you want to give a shout out? Right? I asked Isaac, so I'll just ask you.
Shout out,
A shout out
okay,
to who?
to who?
No, shout out
Yeah,
to
shout out.
people like in higher for like in your company, higher
Oh
for.
yes, oh shout out, oh yes, oh shout out to my CEO, my CEO of Hirefoster, Kemi Ogunmuyiwa. Shout out to my talent support, Nena. Shout
Mhm.
out to my people. We have Tunde, we have Iriti, we have some people in that are our team members that are in Canada, that are in the US. Have Iriti. I have what's my people all over. Yes, higher foster. We're doing it. We're growing. Yes, next level um is it five? Yeah, yes, maybe five $5 million. Yeah, jumping to $5 million raise.
Oh, nice, nice. It's not impossible. Like Nigeria is there's not a better time as now, I'll say, to achieve
Yes,
that. So
I mean people in Egypt are getting precede crazy
do you understand?
crazy numbers
Like,
of precede. That is the thing is still in idea form, and people are already putting crazy money down. So, I mean, why not? I mean, I heard about this coffin company, but
coffee.
startup. I shit you not. It was about end of life. It's a read up. I'm serious. They startup. It was about how to make people something. It has to do with end of life, people's death or passing on. Startup in Egypt, and they precede. Was that precede the morning it shook Twitter that day? It's
Ah,
crazy.
I mean,
Precede.
maybe we just they said idea now. Maybe we get precede too.
You know,
but
I don't
but I mean,
mind.
there's an argument. Like I mean, I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me that sometimes, like the money, if you have not handled a particular kind of money before, like managed it, right, or worked with it, I don't know, you have not worked in the millions, or you have not worked in, whatever, right, or you have not worked in a company that has worked in the millions, right, and you're closely linked to maybe the accounts team or like the CEO, and you saw like how strenuous it was, right? Then sometimes that can be like even the destruction of the company because too much money, right? And you would think sometimes you think your problem is people, but then your problem might actually be structure and management, right? But like you keep hiring people because you want that to be done, but it's just probably you as a CEO taking like charge and responsibility of some certain things, right? That you just outsource because you have the money.
Mhm.
And that happens. Like I've seen companies that have done that, right? I mean, global companies that have done that, and like now they're just in debt. They're just doing like not like in debt, of course, they're investors, right? And they're not bringing the profits they should have brought. There's so much pressure. I know at the end of the day, right, they regret even collecting that money because it's just too much
Mhm.
for them. And so
Mm.
I tend to just believe that bootstrapping your way into investors is better than having an idea and then it depends though the idea, of course, and it depends who you are. If that's your first idea, I don't know. Is that a good idea? I would say no. If you have worked on with different companies, is that a good idea? Probably because you might be ready.
Well, yeah, perhaps some. Well, I guess the one thing that's bootstrapping your way into investment later on gives you is grit.
Mm,
Because you're like, I mean, if I've done it in the trenches, if I've held on this long, because my goal is clear before me. When the money comes, the money will just empower me to do more.
mhm,
It's so it's that is an advantage. I consider an advantage as against somebody who tried to, who had everything all nice and just started to build up from the point up. So again, it depends. If you're having money from the outset, it just means that you don't have to worry about some things. Now you
yeah.
can focus on the goal and just do it. So I guess, but personally, I think that bootstrapping your way gives you grit, and grit, you need grit for when the wrong way, like they say in investments and in VC, that when your runway has reached or was about to reach the tip or finish, then you want to be able to, you need grit to work your way back into, have I been able to uh, generate or earn enough income to be able to pull myself through to the next stage. It's.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, like you're not new, of course. Like, you have worked with, even before Zedai, right? You said it at the beginning. So, I
Yes.
mean, but yeah, but I'm sure I trust and I'm confident, at least from your explanation of Hirefoster, right, that people will get jobs. If you guys expand, and more will be done for the African payment salary reputation. So if that can be done, why five seven? Why not 50? Right? To just expand the amount of people that can be hired and the amount of
Yeah.
visibility on the African talents in the long run. So yeah,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
yeah. So shout out again to your people and good luck
Thank
guys
you.
in
Thank
that
you
track.
so much. Thank
Um
you so much.
you guys have a very fun CMO. So don't make her happy. Fun people, you make them angry. If they cut you off, man, Omo, to get them back again, you will suffer. Just from experience, I know that. So, but I'm sure like you guys have a very interesting team.
Oh yes, 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 and it's interesting because it's an all female team.
Oh wow.
Yep,
You see, that's another thing you guys can use as argument to get the fund. We're
it's an
all
all
female
female team.
doing this.
So
Um,
both the ones in Nigeria and the ones abroad,
oh,
all
interesting.
women. Yeah,
Interesting. Some investors like that. Like that is basically their
yeah, they do. They think that people are, even though some investors think of it as, let's reward suffering Olympics.
you just
It's
have
true
to
now.
say
I'm very realistic. And people have really tried though. They have come this far. Only women. This one.
that.
I don't know anyone they see. Let them just bring their be nice. Bring the money, no problem. I'll do very well.
All right. Mobola, thank you so much.
Thank
See
you
you
so
in
much.
the next conversation. Whenever we have that conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye.
Bye.